Hey there, everybody. I'm CCB Dolan here with CCB Fozzie, bringing you the fifth match of Day 2 Alliance Tournament 10, Late Night Alliance versus Clockwork Pineapple. Late Night Alliance have brought their flagship Balgorn here, piloted by Bahamut 420.
Yes.
We're going to have to see that. That's a super dangerous ship. Balgorn, very popular for team flagship
And we
choices.
just actually saw a flagship Balgorn doing a great job with Rogue T'Pal. There's a ton of cap warfare on both sides of this match. Late Night with, of course, their flagship Balgorn, then two Vindicators, Prophecy and Neros, and then frigates. Clockwork Pineapple has brought a Balgorn, but it's not a flagship, and two Armageddons, Damnation and Neros, and then Talwars and frigates. So there's a ton of cap warfare here. For Clockwork Pineapple, they're actually going to be able to nuke more, so they may even be able to counter-nuke the flagship Balgorn, turn them off. We'll have to see how well that works for them. They're not going to have the damage.
Yeah, exactly. The two Vindicators worth of damage plus the Balgorn's cap pressure is going to break tanks insanely quickly.
Very strong. Late Night with a very good warp in. They brought the Vindicators in at 0. They brought the Balgorn a bit further back, taking advantage of the range on his heavy newts and his stasis web fires. So yeah, they're charging forward now. The Vindicators moving straight ahead, chasing after the Balgorn and Geddons from Clockwork Pineapple.
Zostralis from Late Night Alliance dropping in his Tristan. We can see damage being traded across the supports both ways. Mazer dropping in his Tristan as well for Late Night Alliance, trading for potentially a Talwar here in Stoomy Tuesday, and there goes the Talwar.
Yep, so we've seen the Armageddons for Clockwork Pineapple drop guard sentry drones, similar to what we've seen from all the Dommy teams, but unlike the Dommy teams, these guards don't track with the huge tracking bonus and have the same range. They do the same damage as the Dominics, but not the same tracking range, so they can't hit the small ships as well, as we're seeing Mazer able to be saved by the logistics ship of Punchboy.
Yeah, exactly. But luckily, they don't really need much range. Tracking is kind of important, but the Vindicators and the Balgorns are going to be coming up close.
Yes.
The Balgorn actually not as much. He might be newting with Officer Newts, which is a significantly longer range than regular Newts.
Yeah, the Balgorn is actually sitting about 50 kilometers away from the fight, which means that he can only newt, well, he can newt the guys at 40. So he's not right in the thick of things. He needs to actually get a bit closer to be able to get access to the whole other team, but he's burning forward now.
Mazer might not be saved a second time, and there Mazer drops another Tristan falling for the Late Night Alliance team.
So we are seeing the primary for Late Night is the Balgorn of Tanatus, but he's holding up pretty well, so it looks like they may be trying to shift targets. Meanwhile, it's only just frigates that have been lost for Late Night.
The important thing here is following the webs and the cap pressure of the capital ship, the flagship Balgorn for Late Night Alliance. Because look at the cap pressure on Armageddon. They've switched primary to Aloe Cloverus in the Armageddon here, and he's already in half armor.
Yeah, it's worth noting that neither a Neros from either team has any cap pressure on them. They're both staying far enough away to be out of the range of the newts. If anyone could get newts onto one of these ships, that would make a huge difference, because they'll have to burn through their cap charges in order to keep repping, and they won't be able to rep at full strength.
Sneaky noob, a Kestrel dropping for Late Night Alliance. It's clear here that Clockwork Pineapple is winning the support war, but when you have two Vindicators at Balgorn versus two Armageddons and another Balgorn...
They tend to do that to an Armageddon.
Yeah.
Like, as we see, Halo here is dropping and there he's gone. So the Vindicators found an easy enough target. They took down the Armageddon. That's going to be a pretty huge swing. That's a lot of the DPS. These Geddons do a bunch of DPS with those guards. And with it gone, it's going to be very hard to kill the very heavy battleships for the Late Night.
Yeah, with this Balgorn double Armageddon team, you have to just hope and pray that you can cap out a Vindicator and really prevent it from applying its damage, because the Vindicator will just get up and brawl with you and out DPS you.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of cap pressure, but your defense isn't particularly strong as a Geddon. Like,
well, they're pretty beefy.
We saw in the last tanks.
Yeah, in the last match, Secure Nil for Rogue T'Pal tanking hugely. It's very likely that actually what he was doing was filling his lows with nothing but tank, because he was the one that intentionally stayed at the front as they moved backwards, which would be a very clever tactic if he went all tank in the lows and then had Bob and the other Geddon fit some damage. In this case, though, Aloe went down a lot faster, so I think he's probably got a mix of tank and damage in the lows. Not quite the same strategy involved here.
Danite 666 or Danile 666, now the primary for the Late Night Alliance team, and they've clearly been dominating in the support war. But if you can't kill battleships, you have a huge problem. You have to kill the support or the battleship or the links on the Prophecy.
And Merlins, Kestrels, and Talwars, great at killing frigates, don't really do a ton of damage to battleships. I mean, they'll pick away at it a little bit. They'll be annoying. It's like little flies buzzing around. But they're not going to be the kind of thing that a Vindicator being repped by a Neros needs to worry about.
And Danile 666 about to drop into structure. That's going to be, and he's already receiving reps, so there's basically no recovery for him.
Yeah.
It's not missed reps here. It's just pure DPS slamming through his tank.
So Grim Reaper taking a bit of damage now, but with that Armageddon down, they're just not going to have the damage to kill him, I don't think. This means really that flagships are 2 for 2 so far today, which is like in previous Alliance tournaments, flagships have kind of been a death sentence.
Some weird bizarro land.
I should say though, we actually missed a lot of flagships yesterday. The commentators, we weren't always watching local and sometimes didn't notice that there were flagships, so we only called a couple of them. It turns out there was a bunch of flagships everywhere, and most of them won. We only actually had one flagship Scums die yesterday. The rest all actually survived, and it looks like that is being kept up to date. People may be finally figuring out how to take advantage of the flagship, because the only big rule change for flagships between last year and this year is that it can't get banned, and that doesn't matter this weekend. So really, this is just an example of people having some more time with the flagship format, with this concept, coming up with better strategies to use them.
Yep, and we can see here, even with Late Night Alliance's sort of support wing in 7 T1 frigates annihilated,
All gone.
it's not a problem for them. Their core, links, reps, and damage are all intact. All
And
that
control.
cap is still there, all
Yeah.
completely in control of the match. And this Balgorn dropping to the structure, Tiantis dropping for Clockwork Pineapple, and there's not going to be really anything left to do.
Nope.
Damnations don't do really any damage. Oniros can just rep the Damnation. Like, what's going to be left here to happen?
It's not going to be difficult for Late Night. They may have trouble catching all of these guys. If they want to, Clockwork Pineapple could draw out this fight just because they're so much faster. They are trying to kill the Oniros now. They're fighting on. Like, this is a very honorable continuation of the fight for Clockwork Pineapple. The Garoon guys, they're deciding to just keep fighting, and that's something that the Tawars and Frigs can kill, is this Oniro. So it looks like they're going for a good target.
Well, like, you got to take a little bit of something. Every little bit counts. This is Tranquility, the main server of EVE Online.
A kill's a kill.
A kill is a kill. People will go out of their way to throw some frigates at an Oniro on TQ. Why not do it in the Alliance tournament?
And
We just lock them into a small box that they can't leave for another 4 minutes.
So yeah, this Oniros, if its stick goes down, will just be like, what is it, 150, well, no, like 100 and something million ISK out of Late Night's pockets, although Late Night being faction warfare guys, not exactly hurting for ISK.
Well, they could also potentially, maybe they lose this Oniros, and then when in the process of fitting the other one, fit a 200 millimeter plate to their Oniros.
It
or
has been
something
known
like
to happen. We have been seeing quite a few fitting mistakes here and there.
Yeah. Just a quick tip is that Oniro will potentially start bleeding the structure quite soon. Fit your chips a little bit ahead of time so that we
That
don't
one was actually fit ahead of time.
Yeah, it was. Oh, okay. Well, there was another ship that was had guns and then a prop mod, and that was all it had fit to it.
Okay, yeah,
because
that
he was teleported mid-fitting. So get it done ahead of time. You know what you're going to be doing the next couple weekends. You pretty much know when you're going to play. Get it done ahead of time. There, we see the Oniros fall for Clockwork Pineapple before the Oniros for Late Night Alliance. So a kill is a kill, and Late Night Alliance just got a kill as well.
Yep. And now it's just going to be a matter of time mopping up the last chips. We'll see if they can actually catch the Tawars and frigates. If not, they'll just go after the Damnation. But either way, this is going to be a very, very easy win for Late Night Alliance, and they'll be moving forward. They're going to be, though, up against, what is it here? The either Razor or Test. So that'll be a good one for them. It'll be interesting to see what they can do against that. It might be a pretty balanced match.
So for those of you who don't really follow the politics of nullsec in EVE Online, zero security space, big sovereignty empires like Razor Alliance and Test Alliance, please ignore, actually currently embroiled in a war in Fountain.
Yeah, it's a slightly a big war.
Just a tiny one, no big deal. But it's a bit of a grudge match for them coming up next. I'm really excited to see it. Do you think they'll be bringing their absolute best setups to fight their rivals? It's not a late match in the tournament, but it is a rivalry match.
It is a rivalry. I think they're going to be bringing something that's going to try to embarrass the other side. Whether that means bring their best stuff and try to win convincingly, or bring something that you'll be surprised that you lost to. Either way, they're going to be trying to rub it in, and I'm sure there will be mad amounts of posting everywhere after this match, no matter what. Stream chat will explode. Reddit will explode. The forums will explode. It'll be great.
Will explode.
Yeah.
There's actually.
There's a little device attached to both of our spinal columns.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
When we get too excited in that tournament, it just just blows it out. That's how it actually works. We have about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. It looks like this match is going to go to full time, as these small ships are just too fast.
Yep.
But
so just a reminder for anyone that may just be joining us, the first half of today is all our undefeated bracket for the day. So all of these teams are teams that have not lost yet. They won their matches yesterday, and so they are still in a pretty comfortable place. For instance, Clockwork losing here, they're not out of the tournament. They're just going to be dropping to the elimination bracket. And that's going to be the same for all of the matches before our break, which will be at whatever time. like 17:30.
Universal time code, not your local
Yeah,
time
Eve
zone.
time. And then after that break is all elimination bracket matches. So those are all people up against the wall, and the losers of those matches will get kicked out. We're going to be having 16 teams eliminated today, and one of them will not be either of these two teams. These guys are fine.
By the way, if you want to give EVE Online a try, we have a link just below the stream. You can go ahead and click it. Give EVE Online a free trial and check it out. See if you like it.
Yes,
I know a lot of people
30 days
trial.
for free.
I know a lot of people fall in love. You can also just post in the stream chat, hey, somebody give me a recommendation, and then maybe they'll potentially pay you when you subscribe to the game. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
EVE Online players are known for being friendly.
If you do join the game, my biggest advice to you, find a group to play with.
Yeah.
Find some friends, find some people that you like to play with, that do something that you enjoy, that have the same kind of gameplay that you enjoy.
Start building a tournament team for next year.
Yes. Next year, yeah, just keep working towards that dream. It's a lot of fun, huge amounts of fun.
And that's last second is going to tick off the end of our match. Late Night Alliance continuing the undefeated bracket. Clockwork Pineapple moving to the elimination bracket. We'll be back with you in a couple minutes for our grudge match, Razor Alliance versus Test Alliance. Please ignore.